I figured it out. I think I figured it out. Never the twain shall meet.
Yes.
Is that because Mark Twain died in 1910 and then Shania Twain was not born for another 40 years?
Yes.
They never met.
Mm-hmm. That's that saying. Because she is his great-great-granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. Never the twain shall meet. It's almost heartbreaking to think that these two great twains.
It's the prophecy.
Who's another good twain? Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Robert.
And Patrick. And we have to... Wait, do you have anything?
What do you mean, do I have anything?
Like, for me, a gift.
Yes, I do. I was thinking about... So, I went to the store and I was going to make you...
No, you're lying.
Why do you think that?
Because there was a full minute of nothing coming out of your mouth. I could see steam coming out of your ears.
Well, it's more than what came out of my olive jar this week. I bought a can of olives, and I started... you lift it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to let the juice run out.
Hey, and that's what the old whatever team OJ played for.
Yeah,
did.
I was gonna say when he got out of jail,
they let the juice
ran out.
Yeah.
So I let it. I start pouring the juice.
Then the
into
Bronco
the
and the AC guy.
And much like when they let OJ go, the water is supposed to come out. It's supposed to be murky, and dark and dirty with the olive juice.
What are you saying about OJ then?
Well, that this is the thing about OJ. So we all thought he was going to come out murky and gross because he murdered someone. But what happened actually is that it came out crystal clear, much like OJ, because we found out he's innocent.
He's innocent. And
he is washed in the water of olive juice.
Yes, and all he did was get his stuff back.
What would you do if you did it? How would you do it?
If I was gonna do it, I'd take my horse right up to the house and I'd knock.
Page 2.
As his lawyer, I told him he shouldn't name it How I Did It. I said you should name it If How I Did It, because that makes it seem like you didn't do it. And as his other lawyer, I said, one day, people will think that Chloe was your daughter. And I said, one day, Sykes is the funniest person I've ever met. And then I said...
So I started pouring this olive juice out, and it's coming out clear.
That's no good.
And I go, that's interesting. And I open it a little bit more, and I see that the can is completely empty. It's only water. There's no sliced black olives in there.
That is funny.
And then today, the person whom I live with, this happened about a week and a half ago. She said, "When are you going to get rid?" Because I put it in the fridge thinking, well, I have to go back to Hy-Vee. They bleep that out. They may not believe me when I say, I know this is going to sound like I ate all the olives. Because you could do that with anything.
So you're going to take this back.
Hey, I bought this box of Cheez-Its and they're all gone.
Well, yeah. I opened them a week ago. You're going to take a can of olives back? What is it, 50 cents?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it.
Come on, you
I
can't.
thought maybe the next day, but then...
You keep it as a novelty to say...
Right.
When people come over to your house for Christmas, like, oh, hey, Aunt freaking Susie. Classic aunt's name. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's so great. Yeah, no, I'm so happy that you're going to tell me about your new dachshund. I mean, these aunts, they have new dogs all the time. And then finally you get around to say, well, I had something funny happen to me.
And then right when you're about to say it, they, of course, go,
Well, Roman did the funniest thing yesterday. He took his bone and he left.
And you're always kind of competing, aren't you, at these family events? You're competing for stage time.
That's where we learn to perform. All the world's a stage, but hey, if all the world's a stage, my Christmas dinner party is a stage.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I think what happens when you get COVID is you have COVID brain.
I've been saying it for 2 years. I haven't been funny, and it's because of COVID and no other reason.
Yes, 2 years. So what happened is
I used to be funny.
Well,
hey, do you remember this? There was a time, back in, oh God, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, you and I and another guy were making a bunch of movies together.
Yeah, I think that was just...
Because we're, 24?
Yeah, it was about 2.5 years ago, right before the big suck.
So I used to... back when you're a young kid and you're living at
tyke.
Yeah, and you're living at home and you have a little TV in your room, and I always watch a TV show before bed. But I didn't have any cable in my room. This is before streaming. 2 or 3 years ago.
2, 3, yeah.
It's before your Netflix and your Hulu and all your Tubies.
Yeah, Tubi and freaking Paramount Plus and your Discovery Plus and your Disney.
I had a DVD
Plus.
player. I had a DVD player attached
to what?
Built into my TV.
Oh,
on the side. And
you are now watching a DVD.
I would grab a TV series on DVD, and I'd put a disc in, and I'd watch maybe 5 minutes before I fell asleep with my glasses on. And I still do the same thing today.
Yep.
But I kind of had a little experiment going where when I would be working my way through a series.
Coach, Deadwood.
Yeah.
Sir, what's that one?
To Sir with Love.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
series.
If you wanted to mama to baby to baba to say do baby do with love.
Three's a company too.
Mr. Furley. So I would watch
Nowadays it's Mr. Furry.
certain
Heavy petting allowed.
shows I would realize would put me in, at least this was my running thesis, when we would all get together to hang out and come up with a new idea for a little film. My ideas would get more or less laughs depending on the series I was watching.
Do you think that's because you were falling asleep and just taking ideas from...
Yeah, I was like, one time I was like, what if it's like Grey's Anatomy, but it's funny? And the main character does a but sometimes it's sad, and they're like, you're watching Scrubs, right?
Or you'd be like, what if one of us plays a coach, and
the other one is Dauber.
And so we're like, okay, you fell asleep watching Gilligan's Island, and he's like, yup. Yup, you got me.
No, I never took an idea from the show. I just think the brand of comedy of the show, through osmosis, Jones, was seeping in to my unconscious brain, and then that would be the type of comedy that I would come up with. And I don't have any real stats.
Well, so
on
what have
this,
you been what have you been watching to go to bed over the past 2 years?
2020.
That's the thing. That's gonna get you down.
Not funny no more.
No.
And it's just that one. Never mind.
if they made Osmosis Jones now, there would probably be like a scene where Osmosis Jones wins some sort of, or he has to, I don't know, he has to host like the Germ Awards or something.
In the movie? So the premise of Osmosis Jones was inside of Bill Murray.
There are,
and this is also a Bible quote, I think. Inside of Bill Murray, there are 2 wolves.
yes, and I would like to say that I am raising wolves, not sheep, in case anyone's wondering.
And I would like to say, I've always said Bill Murray was an ass, and I'm glad he's finally getting the reckoning he so deserves.
He finally deserves it, but
He's always deserved it. He's finally getting it.
I think he's finally earned the deserve. But I would say that it made for the Wall Street bell ringing ceremony to be very strange. Did you watch this
No.
interview he gave?
I didn't watch it. I read some of the highlights.
It was pretty wacky to see, and God bless him, and he's Bill effing Murray.
Yes.
I wonder if I could find this photo. I can't show you this photo, but I don't even know if I can say what it is. You know what?
Forget it.
Forget about it.
Yes. So obviously we're in a...
What's the price point that you need to hit for you open a bag or box or let's say a can of olives and it's empty? Mm-hmm. At what price do you say it's worth it to leave my house again, go back to the store, humiliate myself in front of the 17-year-old working at the customer and going, you're not going to believe this.
Right.
I know it's 79 cents.
Mm-hmm.
I bought these olives and it's empty. The liquid's not in there. I dumped it out before I came back. I didn't want the liquid in my car.
Well, you have to keep the liquid, Joey.
I did. It's still in my fridge with the liquid.
That's what I'm saying.
And I tried to not open it any further so that they would see, like, they would look at it and say, yeah, there's no way you got the olives out of that little hole.
Well, here...
Opposite of what my doctor said.
Here's a couple things.
Here's a couple things.
Number one, they won't care. Like, you could take back a used diaper and say, this didn't work. There's poop in it. They're like, whoa, okay. Like, that's kind of how it's supposed to work. But, okay, yeah, here's $1 back or whatever. Some of these stores, you can get away with anything. You can take back anything. You can take back the night. Take back the night. Take back the night. Point number 2, it is still there's a possibility that you did suck all of the olives out and then just fill it back up with water.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible to suck all the olives out of the little hole. My doctor is just shaking his head right now. But it's sharp around the edge. You know? I don't think I did it.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Unreliable Narrator here, he was speaking of Mark Twain.
Okay, so let me check my notes. I got a can of olives with no olives. Oh, Landon.
He's got a full paragraph.
I meant to open with a
He's got a full paragraph, ladies and gents.
I meant to open with a story, okay?
Well, I meant to open with a story. You came in with the olive thing. I'm sitting here 14 minutes in.
Crap.
I'm waiting to tell my story. But
we should probably put our stories in at the beginning, huh?
Yeah, we'll rearrange. So if you see any odd jump cuts in the video portion, pay no mind. This is just consider it a TikTok.
No, but you must pay the riverman with 2 coins on your eyelids, for you shall be led into Hades.
I predict that we won't even have like proper coverage in a few years for movies. You know how you watch an old movie and
I'm wrapping my head around this.
You know how when you watch an old movie and it's like, oh my God, get on with it. And then you watch like an action movie or any type of movie really from the last couple years and it's like ding, 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 ding. There's a cut every 4 seconds. But it's at least cutting from one angle to another. I predict the next advancement in editing will just be jump cuts, one angle. Because it's as you know, the first film that came out, the train coming through the TV screen, and everyone ran from the theater. But then we advanced so much, and now people, you know, the common audience catches up to the editing. It catches up to the filmmaking process. Now we can just go to Doctor Strange, and having not seen any other movie before that, and know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And now everyone's watching the TikToks where it's like
Crazy.
a guy who's like, here's how I make my own clothes, and then it cuts it. First, I take a shirt from Goodwill. Okay, already you're lying.
Yeah.
You don't make your own clothes. First, I take a shirt from Goodwill. Then I cut it, but it's all one angle. It's all like. So I think that's where the whole world is going to end up.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm really scared for our children because of how I watch these TikToks, and it's just people going, "Here's something I didn't know until I was 30." Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You didn't know the seat in your car was adjustable? You're just looking for things. It's not a funny persona.
Right.
Persona non grata, maybe. Oh, boy.
And when Joey and I do have our kids, we will teach them nothing but the bare essentials.
Classic cinema. Godzilla. And the bare necessities.
All right, you had a story.
Yeah. So my neighbor works on, I guess you'd call it like, I'm not sure, because they have a bunch of glass, like a bunch of glass containers in their house. And I can always hear them doing something really weird, and they'll bring more containers into their house, usually late at night, and I can hear like ting, 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 you know, like here, I'll give you an example. Like that, but a bunch.
Sure.
Think of that times 10, okay? And this would be something that's on TikTok where they make the sound over and over again.
Right.
And they're like, harmonize with me. And someone's like, oh, say, Mari.
I was going to say, you know what, but do that again.
Okay.
No, faster like
Okay.
you were doing. Come on, it's lovely weather that together with me. That's where my head first went.
Yeah, that's good. Like God, it's almost time for Christmas in July.
Indeed.
But yeah, so my neighbor will bring these jars in. It's just like, it's kind of a weird, quirky thing that they do, I guess.
I guess.
But they only bring them in at night, and then I just hear them working on something kind of throughout the night, or going and throwing stuff away, or bringing more stuff in. A lot of like fresh produce and all this, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. They really don't go outside much. It's COVID. I thought maybe they're isolating a little bit, but they don't really have great people skills. And I see them leaving very early in the morning on like weekdays, and then they'll come back late with more jars. I've seen them leave with jars full of like, I don't know. It's like goop, like red goopy stuff, and they'll come back and the jars are empty and they're covered in this goop, and they go out to the trash can, they're covered in this goop. And I started to be kind of concerned about what they were doing in their house, because they used to have some animals, and now they don't have any animals anymore. So I was like, we should probably check out what's going on at the neighbor's house. A little backstory: they moved in recently, but we've never really gotten to know them. And right when they moved in, they just started throwing stuff away that they moved in, and then they took all the stuff they'd moved in with and left it at the trash can. So it's just kind of weird, eccentric behavior. They brought a couch, they moved with a couch, and the next day it was outside by the dumpster. Like, they moved all their stuff there just to throw it away. So just these weird things that really are confusing to us and a little creepy. So one time I went over there just to see how things were and see if I could get a look inside the apartment. I was just going to say, hey, if you ever need to borrow any, a little
Yeah, I
something.
never did need a cup of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. So I knocked on the door, and the door opened. It was cracked open already. I know I probably shouldn't have done this, but no one answered the door. So I was like, hey, is anyone home? Just wanted to talk to you about something quick.
Cup of sugar.
And I cracked the door open a little bit. And what I saw was they had all these jars, and they were basically filled with preserves. So they were canning. So what I saw wasn't exactly scary, but it was certainly jarring.
So I would like watch Arrested Development, and you guys would laugh more at my stuff because it was more cerebral and irreverent.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it was like something more goofy, like Psych or something, it would be goofier, not necessarily laugh out loud funny. That I'd bring that to the table at our meetings and stuff. You guys wouldn't necessarily.
Maybe before we, like on the night before we do the podcast, it should be a night where we go to bed watching something like
Arrested,
or I don't know, Real Ghostbusters, or what's a good, like Errol Barnett on Channel 1.
Yeah, something to
make us laugh. And then you wake up and you're like, I think I'm doing the silly walk today. And everyone's like, ah, 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 ah. Drum roll, please. Thank you. Did you happen to, I don't know, watch anything this week?
Well, this ties in with my story. And this story, I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but it is true.
Yeah. My story was,
Also, it's really not much of a story. Now, this might be shocking to many listeners.
Here we go.
I kind of bill this as a story, but once I get through it, you'll kind of be like, wait, he went to a movie? That was it? That's not much of a story, but isn't that life?
If you like this kind of stuff, keep listening. If not, I'm sure that 30-second button on your iPod is going to do you a lot of favors the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, just maybe the next 8, 9, 10 minutes.
Aww.
So, as I maybe alluded to a little earlier.
I was just looking at the sign above us.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's funny.
Yeah.
Go on.
I might have alluded a little bit to this earlier, but I did see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I'll get to my little thoughts on the movie later. But first, I want to tell you about my theater experience. I went in and, I get my popcorn, little soda pop, because it's fun. It's a popcorn movie.
It's a Marvel film.
You want to have a little popcorn. Okay, so I get all my stuff. While I'm waiting in line, the people in front of me are talking to the
normal behavior, though.
Cashier. Normal completely
behavior.
Normal. They're getting their popcorn. They're getting that. Okay.
You're supposed to do that.
You're supposed to do that.
Unless
That's
you
fine.
pre-ordered it.
The guy.
You have a 715 large popcorn. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. The guy. So they get their popcorn, and then the guy's counting his change. Mm-hmm. The line, meanwhile, is building. Mm-hmm. So everyone's trying to get to this Doctor Strange movie. And now with the seating, you call ahead, you get a seat, right?
Yeah.
You call ahead and you say, "Can I get E17?" And they're like, "Oh, that one's booked." Okay, E16.
Thank you for calling the Carmike Winsong Theaters. Would you like seat A1, seat A2,
right? Seat
A5, seat A7?
So now everyone comes to the theater 2 minutes before. Back in the day when you had to wait outside and you had to wait for your spot.
I was just talking to someone about this, and if I may,
please.
There's just something about having to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I would cut off my left foot to have had assigned seating back when I was going to movies regularly. Mm-hmm. But there is something about getting there 2 hours early to see Star Wars.
I just think about going to see Revenge of the Sith, getting to skip school or whatever happened to get in line so early, and you get in and you still get the worst seats.
Yes.
Like the
You
back
can't-
row corner.
You can't sit with your family.
And then they say, you can't sit with us. But that makes it an event. You're all in this together.
So, anyway, point being, everyone's filing in to get their concessions at 2 minutes before the movie starts. So, and there's only one cashier because for some reason no one wants to work anymore.
I mean, what is that? Get your ass to work.
Oh, gold.
Get your ass to work.
Is that John Wayne?
Kim Kardashian.
Oh.
Get up and work, ladies. What do you think this is? The Sims? Woggle, woggle, yum, yum. Zoop, Scooby, soup, doop. That's how they talk in The Sims. Right, Chloe? Right, Kim. Thank you.
So, I get my popcorn. Well, no, I don't get my popcorn yet because
Okay, why don't you back up a little bit? Everyone's on their toes.
this isn't even the story.
That's beep, 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 beep.
So the guy's counting the change that he got back from the register lady, and he turns to the lady he's with, and he's like, "She didn't." He's so amused by it. He's like, "She didn't." He can't believe it, but he's also amused by it. She didn't give me the right change. And the lady's like, "Are you sure?" Because she's starting to be like kind of embarrassed because he's talked the cash register lady's leg off.
Yeah.
I'm standing in line for 5 minutes before they even get their popcorn and stuff because they're talking. They're just hanging out. So he's one of these guys, and the lady with him is like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "She didn't." So
Meanwhile, guess what's about to start? Back to stone.
meanwhile, I'm like, I'm amused and also can't believe it because it's one of these guys. So it's like a guy. It's the same type of person that would take a can of olives back to Hy-Vee to get 79 cents. Like, just go along with your day.
And I didn't do that.
So
They are just in my fridge.
they kind of
They're not in my fridge.
They sit off to the side a little bit. There's one other guy in front of me. He goes up, starts to order. The guy, so he orders. The lady at the cash register opens the register to give him his change. The guy that didn't get the right change steps in and is like, "Hey, while that's up, you didn't give me the right change." Like trying to talk to.
But he knew that if this has happened before. Mm-hmm. He knows if he said, "Hey, I need an extra 14 cents."
Right.
They say we can't open the drawer
Right.
unless you buy something.
Right.
I do not have that power. So
Yeah.
he's like on standby, just waiting for someone to pay with cash.
With cash. So he's like, "Hey, whatever," and she's like, "What?" Because also the movie theater still has the plastic partitions and stuff, so she can't hear him. He's being very quiet because he's like trying to be like, "You didn't, you didn't." So she goes and gets a popcorn. She gets this, that, and the other. She closes the drawer, and I know because I've been on that end. Like, and I ain't paying with cash, so you ain't coming in my spot there, buddy, old pal. So then I can see him talking to the lady. So the lady starts talking to the cash register lady. And she's like, "I can't talk right now." The cash register lady says that. And I'm starting to be like, what's going on? So then these two people are standing back in the line in front of me. So now I'm just waiting. Like, I'm not even going to try to walk up there because I'm like, obviously you need to deal with this. And then the cash register lady's like, "No, it's fine. I'll get my manager. Just wait 10, 20 minutes. I'll get my manager." I'm like, 10 or 20 minutes? Holy hell. And then, so now I think they're going to get into a big fight.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely staying back because you know what happens at movie theaters.
Well, judging by the way you led into this story, I'm sure that's not what happens.
The cash register lady says, "You can come up." And I'm like, "Me?
You don't want to get involved in
Yeah,
this.
you can come up." So I walk up and they leave, and then they're laughing. They're over at the side laughing.
Like having a good laugh?
Yeah, they're like,
Having a laugh.
and they're kind of watching the cash register lady. And I'm like, I just kind of like, okay, if you need to. And she's like, no, it's fine. So I'm like, okay, give me all of the popcorn. Yeah, I'm going to need all of the popcorn.
And do the straw trick with the butter so that it seeps through the bottom.
You know what's funny, though? What the other guy in front of me had her do half popcorn, and then he was like, can you come back and put this yellow salt on in between?
Oh, my God.
So she filled it up halfway, then she sprinkled the butter salt on.
Leave these poor people alone.
He's like, I mean... Then he's like justifying it to his girlfriend that he's with. He's like, I mean, I don't go to the movies that much. It's just one thing. She's like,
no, it's a first date.
Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, no, okay.
Anyway.
Never talking again.
Can you believe that this isn't the story?
That...
So I get up, I get my popcorn, and I pay. And then they came back in and started talking to her again as I was leaving. And I realized, I think that they are her parents or something. There's some relation.
I was going to say, are they friends?
They're like watching, because they're old.
Gross. Yeah, gross.
And she's like a kid, because that's the type of, you know, that's a job that you have when you're a kid. So
God, to have that job as a kid.
Oh, God. So I think they were just like trying to give her a hard time. Meanwhile, there's a whole line of people out the door. It's just not the time, people. And don't go see your kid when they're on the job.
And this happens a lot and now you go somewhere and someone's friends or family are there joking around with them, but you just want to do your thing.
Right.
And now you feel like you're interrupting because you need to check out, and you're like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, and they're all laughing. And and oh, sorry, are you ready? And you're like, yes.
Well,
sorry.
No, yeah, I know it's your family reunion.
Sorry, I just need to buy this bookend. And they said, bag end? When I'm gone. Ray's here.
Okay, so I get my popcorn.
Here's how you make vegan sushi. Oh. What do you think the next big thing is? Just come up, like, what's the name of it going to be?
Sporkle.
That's good. So, tell us get back into the preface.
Okay, well, the preface is over now. Now we're into chapter 1.
Yes!
I get my popcorn. I go to my theater. As I'm walking in, I see a guy walking out who's wearing his mask.
Uh-oh.
It's an N95 big one.
Nice.
I am no longer wearing a mask.
Oh, you're tempting fate.
I've taken it off. I wear it in the line, but I've taken it off to go into the theater because I'm going to sit down and eat my popcorn before the previews are even over. So I walk by the guy. My face mask is off now. His eyes and head are iconic to me.
Okay.
I recognize immediately as I walk by him, this is a man who I've seen at other Marvel events. This is a man, and I know he's not listening, and I have the utmost respect for him, named Mr. Stump. And a science teacher from high school who loves Marvel movies. When we went to the...
went and saw Mr. Russo.
And his brother, Mr. Russo.
Give a little talk. They both give a little talk about Marvel move. And Mr. Stump, who definitely is not listening to this, was there holding it. And he's just like, can't believe that we know this. When we're like, he was there holding a Captain America DVD that he wanted signed while wearing like a Captain America bomber jacket.
Yeah. Which I love. I love it.
Hey, you know what?
Nothing wrong with it. This is a guy who's an OG nerd, as they say. He just can't believe that they're doing all these movies now.
He used to got him face rub in the dirt because he liked to see the Starman.
Exactly.
And now guess what?
Now it's
Starman
cool.
is God.
You're right.
People just the multiverse is just a thing we all know about now. And actually we all know about the Watcher.
And it's kind of Owatu.
It's kind of Owatu.
So I walk by him and my first thought is, hey, Mr. Stump. My second thought is, oh no, my mask. He's going to think I'm not I don't believe in science anymore.
You're someone that shops at Shields.
I mean, to be fair, he did show the first half of Megamind like 3 times in science class instead of teaching us anything. No, he taught us so much that we would have days off.
These are the people we're supposed to trust under Mind Fauci.
Seriously, one day he showed us the first half of Megamind, and then the next class, like a couple days later, he showed us the first half of Megamind again. And no one spoke up. No one said we already saw this half.
Well, why would you? Because maybe you're confused?
Yeah, you're
know?
just kind of like, huh.
Like, what if you said that, and he's like, I know, and everyone looked at you like, what do we know?
Yeah. He really, yeah. He wants you to see this.
Yeah. You missed the joke the first time.
So, anyway, I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. He's getting to see that because I know that Marvel is a big deal to him.
How old is this guy now? Got to be 70.
Who knows? Yeah, probably. So, I'm happy for him, whatever. I go find my seat, and a few minutes go by, and guess who sits down right next to me?
Uh-oh.
Mr. Stump. And the preamble before the movies, I will admit, is quite loud.
You mean the audience?
No.
Oh,
the
actual screen.
Yeah, the screen vision. They do the little commercials and stuff, and then they start the trailers and they show Top Gun, and you feel like you're in the cockpit with Mr. Cruise himself because it is so loud. Now, I'm kind of thinking this is going to be kind of freaking cool because I know Danny Elfman has brought his best. I know that other stuff is going to be loud.
I'm ripped now. I'm freaking ripped now. That's the theme song to Doctor Strange.
So
I'm ripped now.
I'm ripped now.
And then parentheses me, Danny.
So he but I have this thing where if anyone else around me that I know is uncomfortable, I can't live with myself and want to rip myself in half like SpongeBob. So it's quite loud.
Yeah.
And
your oingo's being boingoed already.
He is literally sitting there with his fingers plugging his ears, and he's with his wife, I think, and he like leans over to her and goes, Christ. He's mad. He gets up, walks out, and tells someone.
Yeah.
He comes back. I can't hear what they're saying because it's so loud. But she's like, basically like, did you ask someone? And he's like, yeah. A couple more trailers go by, and he's just shaking his head. And I feel bad.
Yeah.
I can't enjoy myself because this guy got out of school to go see this movie. He really wants to see it.
Paid what, $15 a ticket?
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there having done the exact same thing, but I can't enjoy it because of him. So anyway, finally he does one too many sighs. So his wife gets up angrily, and he's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "To tell someone." He's like, so she goes, and she comes back, and I hear her say, "He said he already turned it down." He didn't. It was still loud. But sure enough, the first minute of the movie starts. It's loud. It's so loud. But after that first minute, they must have been monitoring it because it did level out. And I can say that
story.
Mr. Stump enjoyed the movie, it seems.
Yay!
When a certain someone shows up, they turn to each other and go. They do their little. They don't actually say needle.
Are you talking about BC? Or are you talking about? Are you talking about? Are you talking about R? Are you talking about SW? Or are you talking about? Ooh, I haven't seen the movie yet.
Well, and that's why I ain't gonna spoil nothing here. Except I will spoil my thoughts, which are, it's fine.
I heard and I thought I was gonna get it spoiled by someone that I work with who said, "You do get your Bruce Campbell fix."
Yes.
I said, "Okay." He's like, he's not doing any very heavy lifting, and I said, "I assume not at this point. He's just doing his thing."
Yeah. If you're not a Sam Raimi, I will say Sam Raimi gets to have all of the moments that he wants in this.
So why does he get to do that?
I don't know.
But all the other, like, everyone else is on thin ice.
Everyone else complains like, we didn't get to do nothing. And meanwhile, Kevin Feige is like, well, it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah, we have to. He did the original Spoodermoon.
But of course, when you do, because Kevin Feige worked on those movies, Sam Raimi's Spider-Mans. So there probably
Crazy.
There is some level of like, he kind of taught me everything I know, so I have to bow down to the Raimi man.
It's a cyclical. It's wonderful to go back. It gives you the same joy when you realize that Mikey Day from SNL played one of the gay guys from the David Blaine parodies from back in the day.
When you connect those in your head finally, after a few years of seeing him on SNL playing the same energetic idiot character,
it's like a little puzzle piece that was missing from your brain
and
gets put in, and you're like,
it's
I
like
see
that
everything.
It's like that meme of like the regular guys like Mikey Day and gay guy and David Blaine, and then like Mikey Day and the Blue Bunny sketch from Benedict Cumberbatch's episode, and then realizing they're the same person. It's Galaxy Brain.
Yeah, you've got all the and then it's like Mikey Day as gay David Blaine guy. Wait, no, you gotta go. Or no, wait. Realize Mikey Day in SNL, and it's just someone's face, and then it's Mikey Day playing the gay guy in David Blaine's sketch, and then it's a universe head but a little bigger, and then the last one says Mikey Day wrote the new Home Alone movie, and it's like the exploding brain.
Yes,
that's top tier MD.
Wow.
That's what Sam Raimi doing the Multiverse of Madness is like.
Well, and that's what Mr. Stump was so excited about when Mikey Day shows up.
Who's the? Don't spoil a cameo for me.
Well, you know one from the if you've seen a trailer. Actually, I'm not even going to say that because you maybe haven't even seen the trailers. There is a cameo that was spoiled in the trailers, and when it happens in the movie, you're kind of like, I guess they kind of told us everything that was going to happen. So I would say go into the movie knowing a couple of things. It's not exactly... Well, it's not exactly the sort of big game-changing Marvel event that maybe some thought it would be. It's pretty self-contained. You would do yourself a favor to have seen WandaVision before, and you will, if you're a Sam Raimi fan, you're gonna like it. He gets to do all the horror stuff that he likes and all of the like bad cheesy humor that is sometimes not funny.
That is bad.
It doesn't all work in the Marvel setting, but that's fine. It's fun. It's a fun movie. There's one part where even Danny Elfman himself, not in person, but his music, gets to be a hero. And I'll just say that.
What?
It's great. It's great. It really felt like Sam Raimi built a little piece into the movie where he's like, I'm going to make Danny Elfman my star. And that's all I'm going to say.
That makes me want to see, and as much as I like the Sam Raimis and being drug into hell and all that,
Yes.
It's just Doctor Strange does not oingo my boingo, as you said earlier.
Yes.
I just don't. The first one's fine.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in fact himself.
He's Doctor Strange, the character, is for me in the movies the same that he is in the comics. I'll never want to just read one of his books. When he shows up in someone more interesting's book, I'm kind of like, oh yeah,
There's that, yeah.
that's fun. He's gonna take us into a little weird part.
But when he's the main guy,
He's the main guy. Yeah, and he doesn't do anything for me in this either.
me neither.
But remember, I said Power of the Dog finally powered me into not dogging on Benedict Cumberbatch.
Still need to watch that.
Well, it made me a true believer of the Benedict man, but this kind of cranked me back on that again because I'm like, I think he's just not charming enough to be that guy. They try to make him be Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. Like, it's basically just a knockoff version of that character.
Does he think he's cool? I'm being honest.
Benedict the man?
Does Benedict think he's cool?
I don't know. I can't tell. And I think he's a good guy. I think he's
I'm
a
sure he
nice
tips
guy.
well.
I'm sure he tips well. He seems funny. He's always game on SNL.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't do much for me as a performer. I'm sorry.
What do you rate this Multiverse of Madness?
7.
Whoa.
7. It's the more I think about it, there are parts that I like and parts that make me not like it. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
It's a 7 for me, dorg.
Okay.
What'd you watch?
Three Busy Debras. Have you heard about this?
No. What are you talking about?
Go to HBO Max and just watch Three Busy Debras. It's funny.
Really?
It's one of those. It's just.
What's funny about it?
It's just funny.
Okay. Who's in it?
Let's see.
Is it a comedy?
It's a comedy. It's a show. It's about Three Busy Debras.
It's new?
I think it was an Adult Swim show.
Oh.
But it's just one of these shows that catches you. It's just funny. And I get why it's on Adult Swim because who else is going to show this little 12-minute episode show?
Sure.
It's you gotta check it out.
All right, I'll check it out.
It's just funny.
Three Busy Debras.
Who's in it? I'm blanking on the one person's name that I know. I think they're all like female
What if it's
writers.
Mikey Day?
Well, yeah. that's
Kate
what I just
Berlant.
said.
She's always popping up in things.
Isn't that the truest?
I just saw her in a trailer for some huge movie coming out later this year. I was like, is that
Mitra Juhari.
funny?
And then the two other Debras. It's just a funny show.
I love that.
It's like if you took... Oh, can you imagine if you took Broad City and actually turned it on its head?
But Broad City is girls turned on its head.
Yeah, so this show's girls. It's not that funny.
Well, Girls is like HBO, old HBO comedy.
Yeah, where it's not comedy.
Yeah, where it's like mostly drama and there's like a couple funny things.
Adam Driver's like, sit in the front seat. And you're like, is that funny?
Yeah.
Or is he being abusive?
Yeah. And then Broad City was like, well, what if we just made it actually funny?
Yeah.
And then Three Debras added a girl.
Yeah, and it's not like Broad City.
Oh.
It's just funny.
That's just the only context you have for females being funny.
Yeah, I say, what's the other show?
No, I'll check this out.
It's like when stuff gets goofy, it's just turned up to the max. It's basically what we do. It makes me mad to watch stuff like this because I realize, oh, that's a joke that I wrote in a script.
There's no space for us.
No. We're being pushed out much like, I think, like the Mucinex guy
Yeah.
when he gets evicted.
There's no space for me here anymore.
TJ,
Don't Mucinex.
you mean TJ Miller?
Yeah, no space for him either.
And they pushed him out for Manzukis.
Yeah. Can you imagine losing your, hey, we found someone with a grosser voice?
Well, I don't think so much that it was that, but it was that TJ Miller was
Well, he's a dirty, nasty
arrested
freak.
for doing a bomb threat.
Arrested Development. On a train. Like it's the 1930s.
Hey, I mean, the guy is funny. Okay, look. So what do you rate it?
I've only watched like 4 episodes, but I give it an 8. Better than the Multiverse of Madness.
Wow.
Landon's got to go get a snack.
All right. Entertain the plebs.
Okay, let me see what else I wrote down. This is a little look into my mouth of modern madness. I have 3 texts. I wonder if everything's okay. Nah, I'm not going to look. Okay, I've got a couple jokes that I wrote down. And a couple things that honestly I've already talked about. Oh, I've got this written down. If you were talking to, let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, so, man, there's so much good stuff on my list. You guys should try. Oh, I think I already talked about Eggy Breaky Sammy, which is when I don't like how people name breakfast things. Okay, try this one on for size, everyone. Try this one on for size. If someone said, a lot of people these days are talking about their weight. People want to talk about their weight. They want to be body positive. And someone could say, I'm pear-shaped, or I'm shaped like an upside-down triangle, or that guy's chiseled, he's buff, that guy's like a stick, that guy's like a twig, and the last person would say, I'm round, and you're just like, yeah, we know that. We all know you wrote the Fountainhead. And they say, no, I'm round. And they're like, yes, we know. I'm round. You wrote the Fountainhead. We get it. But they're just, and they here he comes back into the room. He's got a little of Uberhavens. Oh no, he got the Uberhaven. And to our viewers, oh, he already put it in the bowl. This is so gross, Landon.
Van Leeuwen.
Van Leeuwen's. So again, I'd like to thank our friend from the First Time podcast, Tad Good, for letting us know about this ice cream. It's the Kraft macaroni and cheese ice cream, right?
Table. Yes.
Here. Give it here. Van Leeuwen's limited edition Kraft macaroni and cheese French ice cream. Why Kraft macaroni and cheese ice cream? Should I read this?
Yes. I'd like to know what these freaks had in mind.
Have you ever met someone who didn't smile while eating ice cream? Or while eating a comforting bowl of Kraft macaroni and cheese trademark? Yeah, we didn't think so. So why not enjoy both at the same time, in the same bowl, with the same mouth? You know, you've always wondered what this mashup would taste like, or at least you do now. It is cream, milk, cane sugar, Kraft cheese sauce mix, and that's it. It's how much was this?
Like $5.
Okay, yeah. I mean that's kind of a. I went to an ice cream shop this weekend.
Whoa!
One guy was working there. There was a line out the door.
Ah.
This poor man. At one point, he had to leave to get more ice cream, and we all just stood in there in silence as he went to get more ice cream. Then he came upstairs, and he goes, "It's glazed donut now." And then he goes and wipes one of the flavors off the board and writes slowly glazed donut in its place. And then you just see a bunch of people that are mad.
Was it good?
I didn't get the glazed donut.
What'd you get?
I got banana Foster. And
Hey, she's on that Broadway show with Hugh Jackman, isn't she?
all the other kids at the bump dip chicks. That's their kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got biscuits and jam.
I'm loving this inclusion of jam into the ice cream world. Eat it.
Did you eat it?
I just tried it. He put it away. I gotta try it more.
Oh,
That's sick.
it's really gross. It's like eating.
Ew.
Make it a half a pint.
Yeah. Now I have to just throw this $5 bin away. Or
Bin?
secretly eat it before I go to sleep.
Yeah, Landon's like, I just had some. Then I'm like, yeah, it's really gross. And he's like, oh, I got to try it again. Oh, yeah. Nasty wasty.
Now, if you check the video, you will see while he was talking about something really boring, I took a bite of it and did this.
And if I eat too much of this, I'm going to be like the author of The Fountainhead when I have to eat all this ice cream and then say, I'm round.
I heard what you were doing in here.
Is that why you stayed in the hallway? I'm going to take one more bite just because
It's for science.
Landon opened his wallet earlier and like moths flew out of it. So I just feel like I should even try to eat it without breathing.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's pretty
I
bad.
really don't like it.
Yeah, it's really bad. But it still makes that same iconic sound when you put your spoon in it, like mac and cheese.
Would I like cold macaroni and cheese?
Yes. Yes, of course. You never had leftover mac and cheese in the fridge?
That's true, and it's coagulated.
Yeah, and you just pull it out and it's kind of like one...
It's the shape of the Tupperware.
Yeah, it's like a brick, and you're just kind of like, do I heat it up or do I just...
Landon's like, just another freaking brick in the wall. Oh. We don't need no microwave. He's going in for another bite.
I just want to see if it really is that bad. See, it is.
Give me that. I gotta take a picture of it.
Hey, you can take it home with you. You can take it home with you.
No. It's really I was gonna get some ice cream for us. It just doesn't travel well, and it was one that I think
No.
you'd actually like. But now I need to get it because
Is it this brand?
No. Was this a Walmart thing?
Yeah, but they had a few other flavors, and actually we got one of the other flavors.
And it's probably good.
Great.
The ice cream, I can tell it's good.
But, well...
It's just they mix it with this god-awful cheese sauce.
And it's this French ice cream, which on the other one, that's what I was looking for. It doesn't really say that here on this. So they have to justify them putting Kraft macaroni and cheese in it so much. There's like 8 paragraphs of why they do it. But on the other package, it says something about like, why French ice cream? And it's like, it's just eggs.
Huh.
French ice cream, I guess, one of the main...
Well, so isn't that custard, though? Isn't custard mostly... Isn't that eggs?
I think so.
It's a thicker treat.
Yeah, it's thick. And much like I will be after eating this whole pint.
I don't buy, though, that it's a Kraft... If you're selling... and sorry for the pun. I don't buy that it's a Kraft ice cream. You know what I mean? With a C. If you're selling it at Walmart... This isn't a small batch.
Well, that's another interesting thing, because then I was looking, because I never go to Walmart, but I was looking.
They've got a bunch of weird stuff.
They do. I didn't realize how many odds and ends they had.
It is weird. I mean, I'm like, am I missing out by never going to this
I know.
hellhole?
Because there were a few things, especially in the ice cream section, where I was looking. Well, I was looking for that. I couldn't find it, but it was on an end cap.
It wasn't in the freezer.
Yeah, it was on the macaroni and cheese section. I don't know. So, but yeah, this brand in particular had a few other flavors. Maybe I'll make us have one of them again. But they're
Please,
$5.
no more.
The other one that I was going to do for this was pizza.
There's a pizza flavor?
Yes. And there was one that was hot honey, which I kind of was like,
Okay.
I think that, like, if I'm on vacation and I walk into a ice cream shop
Yeah.
and I'm going to get like a scoop of ice cream.
Well, speaking of one of the place I went this weekend,
Yes.
Mango Tagine. They had a spicy mango ice cream.
Yeah.
And one guy just said, I'm going to get 2 scoops of that. And I was just like, my guy. He's got his shorts on, pale as can be. He takes it outside with him. He's dripping it all over the place. He's having a good old time, though.
Are you a cone?
Nope.
You get a bowl.
Head?
Yeah.
Wagyu wagyu. I get a bowl. I don't care about the cone. I don't need to lick the ice cream like a savage.
That's a, even if I, like,
I don't need
the
to.
cone. The cone isn't good.
No,
Like, it doesn't
it's-
taste good.
It's always bad. Or if it's a good cone, they charge extra for it.
Right, it's
They're
like-
we made this out of a real waffle man.
Yeah. It's $5 extra. You're like, okay, well, great. I'll look like an absolute idiot
Yeah.
eating a $5 cone. But no, you get the bowl because you just get to enjoy the ice cream instead of having it dripping down your arm.
And you have to hurry up because you're like. I just watch everyone else do it, and I feel like Rorschach, just looking down at the muck of the earth.
Yeah.
Someone's listening to this, eating an ice cream cone.
No, they're like,
slowly just setting it down on
they're
the.
like AITI.
Yeah, that's what
They're
they
like
said.
R/AITI. What do you give the cheesy ice cream?
It's a 0 for me, dog. I'll give it a 1.
Here's the other thing, though. You go to some of these specialty ice cream shops, and they have strange flavors, and they end up being good.
Yeah.
I was predicting that I was actually going to like this.
No, this is not the.
This is bad.
This is not a Jenny's. Well, I don't know, because Jenny's has the everything bagel.
Jenny's
now,
has the bagel.
which I think also if you get a cup there, they give you a little waffle cone piece.
Jenny's is good that way. They say, doink.
Here, and you can eat that whenever you want.
Yeah.
Eat it with your little hand.
Stick it in your wallet.
We know you don't want the cone because you're already spending $12 on 2 scoops of ice cream. But they have the everything bagel flavor, and I was like, I don't know. This seems like the sort of thing that's just for Instagram, TikTok.
Right.
They want you to eat it with your friends, and it's like, I tried the new ice cream with macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And then it's just them taking a bite, and then there's like a really loud noise, and I don't know, their mom walks in and slips, and I don't understand what's going on in these things anymore.
Yeah.
It cuts at a weird point, just restarts. It's like 3 seconds long. It says, my reaction when, and then they don't even get the spoon in their mouth, and it restarts, and you go, is that the point?
Right.
I just don't get these people's, your brains anymore, everyone. I'm sorry. This is the last episode of the podcast. This is just so people can try it and it's gross, or people can go, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not like if you go to a place and you're like, what is this?
It's for shows like Lunch Break.
Mm-hmm.
Point one
Crap.
also.
Hot honey, though.
I
I got a little thing of hot honey at my house, and I'll just put it on, like, oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were... Yeah.
Well, that's what Mark Schulte thinks. Listen to our last episode if you guys want to get that joke. We're always trying to tie everything together.
Yeah. We're kind of the... We kind of have the Lunch Break podcast universe going, where...
Yeah. And then people kind of trickle out for a while, and then 10 years later, it's like, you need my help? Lori! Back in black! I hit the sack! I get to get him! Back in black, I hit the sack. I think that's the word. He's like back, but he went to bed.
Well, no, I think he's like psyching himself up, so he's like,
Oh.
back in black! I hit my sack!
Don't do that,
when you could do this. And then Lori pulls out a punching bag. Doof, 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 brrr, and she's like, it's Alpha Lori.
Yes. Anyway, we have to go.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.